Today, we look at the man whom tradition considers to be the very first pope, Simon Peter, who would later become known as Saint Peter. Peter was one of the original 12 apostles, chosen by Jesus during his earthly ministry to be among his closest disciples. Now, throughout Scripture, there are many references to Peter's prominent role in the early church. And so it is little wonder that in art and architecture, he is so often depicted as holding the keys to the kingdom of heaven. In today's episode, we'll look at the legacy of Simon Peter and why he is remembered as the first pope. Welcome to this channel, a place where you can learn about Catholicism in just a few minutes each day. Now, while Peter may not have been the first bishop or the first ordained minister, he is considered to be the first pope because he was the first bishop of Rome. Let's take a look at how that all came to pass. Simon Peter, along with his brother Andrew, were fishermen mending their nets when Jesus approached them and said, Then he gave Peter the keys to the kingdom of heaven, saying, Whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven, and whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. And so, because of these words, Peter is traditionally considered to be the first pope. And here's why. In Matthew's Gospel, we hear that Jesus spoke those words after Peter confessed his belief in Jesus' divinity. When Jesus shared with his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer greatly, Peter said, God forbid, Lord, this shall never happen to you. Scholars suggest that the word rock was actually a mistranslation, and that what Jesus really meant was this confession, which would be the foundation of the church. Regardless, Jesus used Peter to establish the early church, giving him the responsibility of leading the community of believers in Rome. As the first bishop of Rome, Peter's teachings and example guided the direction of the entire church. Second, we see Jesus giving Peter the keys to the kingdom of heaven. This imagery symbolized Peter's role as the gatekeeper of the church. He had the authority to open the doors of the faith to people of different cultures, including Gentiles. And so Peter's leadership opened the door for others to enter into the Christian faith. Third, we know that Peter was given the power to bind and to loose. Now, this was a rabbinic expression that Jesus adopted and used to describe the authority Peter and other apostles had to teach and to govern in his name. And this included the power to forgive sins, which was a significant part of the priesthood. And through his leadership and example, the Christian faith was able to spread and grow in the early church. So, too, God can use each one of us in ways that we never imagined possible. All we have to do is say yes and follow his lead. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And if you'd like to support this channel, please consider making a donation. Until next time, stay well and take care.